Okay, when you are adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators, the first thing you do is, first you need a problem. So here we go. Here's number 1. It's 1/5 plus 1/2. First you take your denominators, which are 5 and 2. And I usually start with the first one, with the biggest denominator, and I list out about the first 3. 5, 10, 15. And these are multiples, or another way you could say this is skip counting by 5. 5, 10, 15. Now we're going to skip count by our 2's, or list out the multiples of 2, until we find a common multiple. Or since we're dealing with denominators, common denominator. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 is what they have in common. So once we found that number, now we take our fractions up here again, and we're going to rewrite them, except we're going to write them like on top of each other. 1/5, 1/2, and we're going to have it equal a new fraction. And the new fraction for both of them will both have that common denominator of 10. That's why we did this work, so that we can find out what it's the equivalent fraction of with the common denominator of 10. So, when you look at 5, you look at what do you multiply by 5 to get to 10? Well, that's times 2. So whatever you do to this denominator, you're going to do up here to this numerator, times 2. So now you have 2 tenths. Ask yourself that same question here. What do you multiply 2 by to get 10? Well, that's times 5. And you're going to multiply times 5, because whatever you do to your denominator, you do to your numerator. And that'll be 1 times 5 is 5. Now, if you're not good with your multiplication facts, you can always look up here. When we had listed our 5, we listed out 5 2 times, times 1, times 2. For our 2's, we went out 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 2 times 5. So, once you've done that, you take your fractions here, 2 tenths and 5 tenths, and we will write them up here, equals 2 over 10 plus 5 over 10. Now that our denominators are the same, we just bring it across into our answer, and now we just do 2 plus 5, and that's 7. And our answer is 7 tenths. And that's all there is to it. So always remember, you have your problem, you list out your denominators, 5 and 2, until you find the first multiple they have in common. Then you rewrite your fractions with your common denominator for your equivalent fraction, and then you figure out what do you multiply your first denominator to get your second denominator. Once you have those, you rewrite them again, and then you add them, and then you'll get your answer. That's all.